If you're waiting for the Netflix Q4 earnings to decide what to do, you've already lost. So here's my valuation verdict up front. At the Jan 16th close of $88 per share, Netflix is not a compounding buy. Based on my 2 Economies framework, Netflix gets a structure score of 15 out of 28, meaning structurally, Netflix is a hybrid-leaning surface business, not a clear-cut system, despite the market pricing it as such. Based on the analysis at $88 per share, this is a 60% premium to the implied midpoint, and even the high-end case implies a 17% downside from the current price. Now, I'm not making a prediction here. I'm making a decision. Netflix is not a buy yet. And the rest of this video is going to take you through the exact protocol that produced that decision. You're going to leave here with a 3-branch if-then plan, a what must be true checklist, and an ignore list for earnings night. So let's get into it. Pause. This is the trap. Most people think if I can predict the quarter, the subscriptions, ads, margins, I can trade the move. But earnings is designed to create narrative whiplash, not provide clarity. So who benefits if you believe you need a hot take every 90 days? Usually it's someone selling you attention, not someone building wealth. So we're going to do the opposite of gambling here. We're going to pre-commit. In 8 minutes, I'll show you the 7 signals I refuse to watch on earnings night. But first, we need to install a map. Here's the map, 3 parts. 1, structure map, what the business actually is. 2, scoreboard, what to measure. And 3, rules, if this, then that. And notice what's missing. No price targets, no beats or miss, no chest thumping, no certainty theater. Because the goal is simple. Make the same high quality decision even when you're emotional. Now we apply it to Netflix ahead of Q4 earnings on January 20th, 2026. First, we look at the structure of Netflix, not the stories. Netflix is not about content despite everything we're seeing around the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. That's the wrong unit. Netflix is a subscription engine, monthly membership fees. Then they're layering an ad business on top. And that whole thing works only if they maintain content spend discipline, meaning revenue turns into cash over time. When someone tells you Netflix is unstoppable, stop and ask yourself, who benefits if you stop asking what breaks? Now, here's the key structural tension. Netflix has scale, real economics, but structurally, it's still bypassable. In this framework, Netflix scores 0 on choke point control and 0 on switching costs, meaning consumers can cancel and reroute entertainment time with minimal friction. So the business can be great and still be priced like a system it hasn't fully become. That's why we need a scoreboard. Here's the scoreboard. 3 lanes, no clutter. If you remember one thing, it's this rule. Owners look at scenarios, not headlines. Lane A, pricing power. Can they raise effective price without churn exploding? Netflix itself has cited revenue growth being driven by membership growth, pricing adjustments, and increased ad revenue. That's the mechanism. But because switching costs are low, pricing power is always on probation. Lane B, engagement quality. Are people actually using it more and consistently? Not one-hit show. Actual, durable engagement. Who benefits from a "this show saved the quarter" narrative? Well, I'll tell you who. It's anyone who wants you to think in episodes, not in systems. And Lane C, operating discipline. Are they converting revenue into cash over time? This is where a compounding machine proves it's real. Pause. This is the only part that matters if you're thinking long term. If these 3 lanes are healthy, you can survive narrative weather. Now we branch. Scenario analysis is the part most people skip because it forces accountability. Branch 1, if they beat, and it's a real monetization beat. Meaning lane A improves. Pricing and ads are working without a hidden cost. My action is not buy because of a green candle. My action is update the what must be true checklist and see if any of the structural score movers are playing out. The score movers are the elements that would have to be true for Netflix to earn a higher structure score. Things like evidence of switching cost creation or choke point like leverage, or the ad business becoming structurally advantaged. So in branch 1, my move is simple. Watch for proof, not excitement. What must be true is the beat increases durability, not just this quarter's story. Branch 2. If results are in line and the narrative gets noisy. This is the most common outcome. The numbers are fine, price moves, people panic anyway. Then my rule is simple. Fine does not equal action. I hold, I monitor the lanes, and I refuse to improvise. Branch 3. If they miss, and it's a real monetization or discipline miss. If lane A breaks, pricing power looks weaker. Or lane C breaks, discipline slips and cash quality degrades. Then I do not tell myself a little bedtime story about this being temporary. I then downgrade the thesis from a system candidate to a story risk. And I move to ignore until evidence changes. I act only if the lanes move, not if the crowd screams, which brings us to the payoff. So I want you to put this on your ignore list. This is the fastest way to stop being played on earnings night. 1. It's either a beat or miss headline. 2. 1 quarter subscriber delta with no context. 3. The after hours price move as truth or evidence. 4 is the influencer hype and certainty clips you'll definitely see online about Netflix. 5. Single show narratives. This show saved Q4. 6. Macro doom takes that ignore pricing power. And 7. Random competitor comparisons with no incentives context. Remember, owners don't fight narratives with more narratives. They fight narratives with rules. Now we close with the decision rule. So here's the rule. Buy is not I feel good. Buy means the what must be true holds, the lanes confirm, and the valuation is sane. And right now, with Netflix, valuation is the problem. We already said the verdict, priced above structural power. Just to anchor the facts that drove that, we got a structure score of 15 out of 28. The current EV to free cash flow is about 42. The structure implied EV to free cash flow range is about 18 to 37. Current price used in the work was $88, being the Jan 16, 2026 close. That's why the decision outcome is watch, not buy. Watch means one lane is still unclear, or the business is strong, but priced like perfection. So you monitor the score movers, switching costs, choke point, leverage, durable ad advantage, and free cash flow durability through content cycles. Ignore means discipline breaks, or the thesis becomes story-driven only. If the only reason you own it is, they'll figure it out. You don't own an asset. You own a narrative. Quick recap. You're not trying to predict the next quarter. You're trying to own a compounding machine without getting played. The tool is the sequence, a map, a scoreboard, rule. And the verdict stays the same until the inputs change. We have a score of 15 out of 28. The valuation is priced above structural power. So simply, it's a watch, not a buy at this price. If you want investing to feel engineered instead of emotional, then subscribe. This channel trains us to think like owners. Maps, scoreboards, and decision rules that survive hype cycles. If you enjoyed this analysis, comment a company plus your own one-line thesis below. I'll classify it using the 2 Economies framework between a system versus a surface business and give you the what must be true checklist. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.